America is a country with a lot of political variation. There are some parts of America that are extremely conservative, there are some parts of America that are extremely moderate, and there are other parts of America that are extremely liberal. The most conservative parts of America gave their highest vote share to Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election, and the most liberal parts of America gave their highest vote share to Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential election. So in this video, let's cover the most extreme political areas in America on both the Democrat and Republican side. The most extremely conservative part of America is this area of Alabama right here in red. It consists of 12 counties in Alabama. These counties gave Donald Trump over 80% of their vote share in the 2020 presidential election and actually make up the 4th district of Alabama, which is the most Republican district in the United States. These counties consist of Franklin, Hamilton, Lamar, Fayette, Winston, Walker, Cullman, Blount, St. Clair, Marshall, Jackson, DeKalb, and Cherokee counties. They consist of over 750,000 people and are the most conservative part, and is the most conservative part of America. Even in the period where the Democrats had strong control over the South, including Alabama, these counties were the most Republican parts of Alabama, gave Republicans a very decent share of the vote compared to the rest of the state. One of these counties is Winston County, Alabama, which has been known for its historically Republican tendencies as opposed to the rest of the Deep South, and even following the Civil War, gave Republicans very high vote shares in this county. It is known as the Free State of Winston because it is said that when Alabama seceded from the Union, Winston County seceded from Alabama. Some honorable mentions include the historically Unionist parts of southern Kentucky, as well as northeastern Tennessee. These areas actually border each other, so it makes sense why both of them are so strongly Republican, as well as the panhandle part of Texas. Now, the most Democratic part of America, or the most liberal part of America, is Prince George County, Maryland. Prince George County, Maryland gave Joe Biden over 89% of the vote in the 2020 presidential election. And in 2024, it's actually possible that Prince George County can vote to the left of Washington, D.C. as a whole, and 90% of the county's vote share can actually go to Joe Biden in 2024. And it would actually make sense why this county is so Democratic or progressive when you look at the overall demographics. 11% of the county is white, almost 60% of the county is African American, and 21% of the county is Hispanic or Latino. With only 11% of the county's population being white, it makes sense why this county would be so strongly Democratic. Also, a lot of the county's population is very educated, and it is actually the most educated black majority county in America. And the idea of a highly educated county that also has a very high portion of African Americans would make it a very strong county for the Democratic Party. When you look at how this county has historically voted, before 1976, this county has actually been a battleground county. This would likely be because of the fact that many African Americans in Maryland did not have voting rights prior to the 1960s, where there was a lot of voting rights discrimination against them, just like there was in a lot of other areas in the country. As for some honorable mentions, they would include the city of San Francisco, New York City, and the Bronx. I know these only consist of 1 counties, however, they all have the same amount of population as those 12 counties I mentioned earlier in Alabama. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and make sure to like this video down below and subscribe to the channel.